Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever looked at two different data integration projects? Maybe both built using the same tool, like Talend.
Oh, definitely.
And one is just incredibly slick, fast, easy to maintain,
Yeah,
while the other one is, well, let's be honest, kind of a tangled mess.
right. Happens all the time. Same tool, completely different results.
Exactly, same tool. So the big question is why? Why that huge difference in the outcome?
Well, it's fascinating because the source material we're looking at today, these excerpts from Mastering Talent, Beyond Drag and Drop, they go right at that question.
Okay.
And the argument is pretty clear. It's not really about the tool itself. It's about the developer using it.
Ah, so just knowing the basic drag and drop stuff isn't enough? That's not what makes the difference between good and, well, great.
Precisely. That's just the starting point.
So our mission here in this deep dive is to figure out what this source says really distinguishes those truly elite talent developers.
What are those skills? What's the mindset?
Right, the approach that takes them beyond just, using the tool.
Yeah.
And why understanding that is so crucial for you listening right now, whether you're building pipelines or maybe hiring the people who do.
And the source really argues the core idea is about depth over breadth. It's not just knowing a component, say, TMAP for transformations, even exists.
Sure.
Top developers really understand how to use it optimally. They're thinking critically, like, how do you chain transformations efficiently? How do you optimize lookups, especially against massive data sets? Or how do you strategically use something like ELT pushdown?
Pushing the logic down to the database itself.
Exactly. Pushing the processing down to the powerful database engine, offloading that heavy lifting to, say, cloud data warehouses like Snowflake or Redshift. It's really about understanding the engine underneath.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The source makes this really strong case that these top people, they aren't just users, they're engineers.
Yes, that's a key distinction.
They approach building data jobs with like actual architectural principles.
hmm Structuring the work, thinking about reusability.
Yeah, like using reusable subjobs, which, cuts down duplication massively, speeds things up, makes maintenance way easier down the line.
And building in robust error handling right from the start, not as an afterthought.
Right, or using parameterized context, so jobs can run in different environments, dev, test, prod, without someone manually tweaking everything each time.
Exactly. And designing for performance, not just, hoping it runs fast enough. It's a fundamental shift in how they approach the task.
Which kind of raises a big question. How do they get that level of control, that optimization, especially when maybe the standard components just aren't quite enough?
Yeah, good question. And the source points very clearly to Java skills as a huge differentiator, almost a game changer.
Really, even with a low-code tool like Talend.
Yes, because while Talend is low code, the real pros aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and write custom routines in Java when they need to.
So that lets them do what? Like troubleshoot weird behavior?
That, or implement really sophisticated logic that standard components just can't handle efficiently. Or maybe integrate with systems that don't have off-the-shelf connectors.
Ah.
Their comfort working behind the scenes, so to speak, gives them enormous flexibility and power.
Okay, so beyond the structure, the code, what else?
Well, the source also really hammers home the importance of integrated data quality. It's seen as completely non-negotiable.
Right. Not just something you bolt on at the end.
No way. Top developers build things like address validation, deduplication, maybe rule-based cleansing directly into their pipelines from the very beginning.
Because, let's face it, in today's world, your insights are only as good as the data they come from,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Garbage in, garbage out still holds true, maybe more than ever.
So, okay, let's bring this down to earth. What does this all mean for you, the listener, on the ground?
Well, if you're managing a team or hiring, the force suggests looking beyond just a list of components someone says they know.
Okay, so don't just ask, do you know TMAP?
Right. Ask how they'd optimize a slow job. Ask how they design for error recovery when dealing with huge amounts of data, or how they tackle a tricky performance bottleneck. You're trying to uncover that engineering mindset, that architectural thinking. You want someone who builds reliable, scalable solutions.
And if you're a talent developer yourself, what's the takeaway?
The source really encourages you to focus on deepening your understanding, not just of talent, but of data architecture generally.
Like data modeling.
Yeah, learn how to model data effectively.
Yeah.
Understand concepts like slowly changing dimensions. Sharpen up your SQL, especially for ELT. And yes, definitely cultivate those Java skills.
So build a portfolio that shows that depth.
Exactly. Show off reusable, well-documented jobs that demonstrate deeper expertise, not just basic, drag and drop functionality.
Ultimately, then, the source seems to be arguing that the real difference, the gap between just functional Talend work and truly transformative data integration, it comes down to connecting that deep technical skill, including knowing the underlying code, the engine, with strategic thinking, thinking about the overall architecture, performance, quality.
That sums it up perfectly. Talent is undeniably powerful, yes. But the source leaves us with this really powerful idea in the hands of the right developer, someone who thinks like an engineer, who masters the depth, integrates quality, it becomes genuinely transformative.
Transformative, that's a great word for it. So maybe something for you to think about. How could bringing that blend of deep technical skill and strategic application elevate the data integration efforts you're involved with?
Definitely food for thought.